All right, check this out, peoples. We're making some huge progress now, and you know what? I am not going to talk a lot during the beginning of these videos any longer. You know why? Because I'm going back to the first build that I did, and I'm watching some of it, and all I did was just, crank the thing on and get down to what we were doing. And I want to get back to that again, because that's what made these videos so good. And on top of that, in the future, when you're watching these videos, no one needs to know like what day it was, what's happening, like what part of the build we're at, blah, 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 stuff like that, right? This is the last one where I'm gonna, well, I may talk a little bit in the beginning of things, but this is the last one where I'm gonna have any sort of an intro. But the only reason why this one deserves a little bit of an intro before we get into this rear shock, because that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna rebuild the rear shock. It's already rebuilt, obviously. But I'm going to show you some stuff that's going on that you're going to be very excited about with me on this one. Trust me. So look at what I got behind me. Wait for it. What? Look at that. Yeah, that's the progress that we're at now. We have a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff done to the dog back there. Look at all that stuff. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this camera around because the camera's better quality the other direction for some reason. And we're going to flip this camera around and I'm going to get into what's going on here. And then we're going to rebuild this rear shock. And then from now on, we're just going to get after it because that's the way these videos should be, right? All right, without further ado, but just one more thing that I want to say. I hate to do this all the time. This is for the new people that haven't subscribed. Please subscribe down there and ring that bell to get your notifications so you can be notified whenever the new videos come out. Because as you can see back here, whoa, do we have some progress going on, man. And the motor is coming up also. Yeah, we're going to get on down to it. So yeah, go ahead and crack that like button too. Hit that, throw me a comment, because I've noticed that for some reason YouTube really likes the comments now. They've changed kind of their algorithm up a bit, and please just say something, anything. I don't even care if you say, dude, you're a dick. Do it, say whatever you want, I don't care. Anyway, just throw some comments down there. It just shows, I guess YouTube just feels that's some interaction. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to flip this camera, and we're going to get on down to what's going on back here, and then we're going to get this rear shock rebuilt. I rebuilt it fully this time. The only thing I had to do was take it to the shop to get the nitrogen shot in it. And this thing gets filled up to like 300 PSI. That's a lot. But anyway, I rebuilt the whole thing except for that. I took it to the shop to get the nitrogen shot. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to talk a little bit about what's back here. And then we're going to get this shock done. Boom. And then we're going to just start rolling videos out of what's going on. We're just going to start cranking stuff out. And the motor. Whoo! Wait till oh my God, this is crazy how fast this is coming now. First there was nothing, now it's everything. So yeah, let me flip the camera. Let's get on down. Let's get on down to it. Woo! All right, folks, check it out. So yeah, no need to be alarmed. We're obviously going to film all of this, and this is not all together like it's supposed to be at all. This is just a mock-up because as you can see right here, these are still loose. I don't have even the nut on here. This has nothing in it. We don't have any of the bearings in the front. We're going to get all that done. The shock is not bolted in all the way. These need to be painted. We got to paint these guys. Got the grab bar needs to be finished shining up too. We need to take care of the exhaust. We need to get it painted up. And we need to get the swing arm painted up back there. Somebody had a stupid ass sticker on there I had to take off, so we need to get that done. Oh yeah, we got the rear brake. That's from a TRX 450R. We got the rear brake master cylinder there. We need to get the brake pedal in there. So also let's get this seat off there and I can show you more about what's going on. All right, so yeah, let's get this baby cracked. Look, we got this guy on there too. What? Yes, folks, how exciting! The frame! What? The frame is back from the powder coater. Look at that piece of machinery right there. Oh my God. That looks so sweet. Look at how beautiful that frame is. Yes, that is the Passion Red. That is the 86-87 color. Passion Red, and I found somebody to hit it. I think a prismatic powders. Passion Red. And I did the skid plate, the same color. I know it was silver or chrome or something from the factory, but they gave me a deal since it was the same color for one thing as the rest of the stuff, and I did all the motor mounts too, and I got all the bolts. All the bolts are shined up. These are all the OEM bolts, folks. I have spent lots of time on the wire wheel, making everything look beautiful. So that's where a lot of the time goes also. So yeah, look at that. We got this shined up right there and installed. Obviously none of it's done yet because we're gonna do some Loctiting and we're gonna do some greasing up of stuff. But anyway, yeah, we need to get this shined up the rest of the way. I started getting it polished up right here. But we need to get the rest of the paint off right here, and we have some welding that someone did right here that we need to grind up, make it pretty again. We need to get these bolts shined up, because as you can see, they're kind of rusty still. These are the all OEM bolts. Yeah, we need to get that shined up. We need to get that good, ready to go. But anyway, here's another look. Here's another look at the TRX 450R rear brake master cylinder, and whoo, look at that. That actually works. I'm not sure if that's gonna work or not, to tell you the truth, but it's pretty close to the exhaust. That's why I bolted the exhaust on there to find out what I needed to do. I think the OEM one goes out this way, right here, goes out, and then it goes underneath here and up through. I might I have a few ideas. This is from the 450R, and look how it's got this this weird little thing right here. We might be able to go like right here and go back behind like this, right? Put this in here with this little curve in it, and then this will come out the bottom. And look at that. And if we cut it right there, it'll go right in. And I have the this actually fits in this reservoir, in this master cylinder perfectly, and that will stick out right there. I think that's what we're gonna do. Well, I've just solved it while we're sitting here, so that's what we're gonna do with that. And I had, if you were paying attention in the other videos, I had the master cylinder from from the other 450R, the CR 450R, that has the master cylinder built, I mean the reservoir built right into it, but the bracket is like this much longer. It doesn't bolt up, so I'd have to make a bracket to shove it over and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I really want to do it, but I think it's a future project. For right now, this is definitely the route to go. And why am I not using the 200X OEM one? That thing is trash, dude. It has like just caked with so much rust inside of here that, oh my God, it's nasty. I barely got this thing out of it. Oh my God, look at how sweet that is. And I did a good, I love the master cylinder polished like that. How sweet does that look? Woo, with the black cap on there and the black screws. Look at how sweet that looks. And I rebuilt the thumb throttle. So yeah, all this is all brand new inside of there. Painted up beautifully. Woo-wee. We got us a new clutch lever. I went with the chrome with the polished to match the other side. Even has the black top on it right here to match the black cap. Man, look at that. What? Whoa. And the 350X headlight bezel that we're going to dump a couple of LEDs inside of here. All right. And yeah, look at that. There's our new wheel hub that we did. We got it painted up. Brand new bearings in there. Brand new bearings and seals. And we got our aftermarket skid plate down there. I need to redo the holes though. They actually sent me another one. They sent this and were good about it and said that the holes were off and that they sent me a new one that has the proper holes in it and with a return slip. So as soon as I get the new one, just send that one back. And then they actually messaged me back and said, you know what? If I want to keep this one, I can keep it too. That's a cool company right there. Hells yeah, that's a ADT ATC. Yes, ADT ATC. They busted out that skid plate right there. And yeah, like I said, we got this shock mounted up. Obviously the spring's not tightened down yet either because I don't have the spanner wrench, which is going to go onto these guys right here. And I'm not doing it. I'll show you what I did to get it off. Anyhow, let us get down to let's get down to rebuilding that rear shock. All right. Next up, next into the tank is the rear shock. So, where we're going to begin first is we're going to pull the spring. And I think in order to do that, we're going to have to crack this baby off. So, let's see if we can't get that baby up into the vise here. And we've got the soft jaws on there. Actually, the first thing we should do is probably let out the nitrogen, huh? If there is any. Nothing. All right. Let's not take that out yet, just in case it leaks. We don't want it leaking all over the goddamn place. So let's crack this baby off right here, if we can. There we go. I think we might need to, as long as we're here. So let's put this baby up in here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to spray this down with some of the MPPL right here. To just make this dog much easier to work with. Now that I've sprayed everything in existence on my bench, I think we should be good to go. So I don't think this one requires much waiting time. Basically, I just wanted to lubricate up these threads and stuff so that we could zing this guy off much easier. Kind of like that was what I was going for. See there? That's what I was looking for. Now let's prop up that son of a bitch with something. You see, and this is why I keep all of this stuff. Nice piece of styrofoam. Should go beautifully right there. That's what I'm looking at. And now let's crack-a-lack the rest of it. Which is not going to be quite as easy as the other one, is it? Are you bouncing, camera? I sure wish I had one of those cool tools where I could just go, but I don't have one. So instead, we're gonna have to work this way. What did I just lose? Well, dude, I don't even know. This is not the way I'd like to be doing this. Let's try something here. What do you think? Should we try a big ass pipe wrench? I don't know if there's anything it's gonna hook onto though. Hey, you know what? I think it might have worked if I went the other direction. Okay, this isn't working. I see, said the blind man. I'm a crazy man, huh? Whoa, 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 whoa. Camera, we almost lost you, sir. All right, 400 years later and 5,000 hammers later, I got it up this far. And now I'm going to take it out of the vise a little bit here. And I'm going to move it out just a little bit. So we're still cranked down there, I think. Enough where it should still hold. Yeah. And now we're going to crank on it with this guy. And hopefully this will be a little better. There we go. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Well, we're not going to put it back on this way, that's for goddamn sure. I am going to buy one of those cool ass tools to put this back on. I might have to buy new ones of these things because they're pretty mangled. And I like my shit to look good, so. Okay, I've had about enough of this motherfucker, dude. This is stupid. Maybe we need to pull this guy off. Is that gonna make shock fluid squirt all over the goddamn place? Well, we're gonna fucking find out. I got a crow's foot. God damn. What in the fuck? Alright, so I put it back farther into the vise. See if we can't crack this dog this time. Yeah! There it is. Oh boy, and then it just stopped at the end. Actually, this shock oil doesn't look that bad, to tell you the truth. Look at that. Huh. I thought it was nasty. It is not. That's crazy. I wonder if somebody rebuilt this shock and then just let it go to shit. Anyway, let's now see if we can't get that other dog off of there. This kind of sucks, huh? God. All right, so I didn't show it, but it ended up kind of being easier than I thought it was going to. This is obviously not the spring that belongs in here. Way too many coils. And in the manual it says just loosen that lock nuts and you know, and pop this little guy off right here, and everything's good to go. Except for I had to do a little compressing of the spring. So what I did was I got a wrench and I put it across inside of here, right? I stood it up like it is, and so this was up and down, and then I put a wrench in here, and I put one hand on the wrench and one of my feet on the wrench, and I just compressed the spring a little bit, and I was able to get this guy out. So it just comes out right here, and then now the spring will be able to come off. But yeah, I wanted to make note of the way it is. So the tighter wound coils right here go towards the lock nuts, and the looser coils go this direction towards the top. Now, all right, let's get the rest of this sucker undone. So these two pieces are going to go like that. This guy is going to go like that. All right, so let's get crack-a-lacking. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, see this little hole right here? Yep. Do you see it? So we're going to crack-a-lack this a few times. This ain't working like I anticipated, so we're going to put it down here. And we're going to move some shit out of the way. And we're going to do a better job at it. Boom, now it's coming. And then we're going to just keep on switching sides. There it is. So let's bring this closer now, so we can get that baby up in the screen here. I'll be in the screen. But let's get this out of the way. Let's slide it on back. So see now, what we gotta do, what I do is to take a piece of wire. I got a piece of wire right here. I'm just gonna wire that guy up there. All right, now what we're gonna do is, you gotta be very careful with this because you're technically not supposed to do it this way, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna take a punch and very delicately crack this in a bunch of little places. There it went, to go in. Whoa, 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 whoa. And have this guy stay up. All right, just push it down far enough to see this circlip down here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can or can't. Look, there's a circlip right here. All right, so we need this guy right here. He is the right direction, I think. Why can I get the clip to go down but not up? There we go. All right, there is our circlip. Now we should be able to slack-a-lack that guy right on out of there. Slack-a-lack right on out of there. I think there's a ridge in there that might need some cleaning out. All right, so I finally got this son of a bitch out. What I had to do was I had to take a Dremel with a little sanding bit, and I had to very gently and methodically zip in there and hit the sides, because where the circlip was, it had pressed down, and where it was banging on there, and it had, you know, formed a little lip in there, so I had to smooth out the lip. And finally, bazanga, we got her out. So once you remove the circlip, if you can't get it out, you're gonna have to do whatever you can to sand down or file or whatever you need to do in order to get that lip down so that this baby can come out. I've never seen that before. That's weird. Usually they have something like a nut at the end that you got to file down or something. I don't know what that is. It's got a hole in the nut with another hole. Well, all right. So let's get the rest of this crap off. So it goes this direction. And all right, now we're gonna have to pound this guy out of there. So I might as well just do that as long as we're here, huh? Shouldn't take too much force to get that out of there. So let's just see if I can't just bang it out just like that. Just bang it out. Just bang it out. I gotta find the right size socket. Let's get rid of this Dremel because this thing is in the way. 12. It's perfect. There we go. Okay. Now we need to pull the dust seals because we got new dust seals coming. Whoa. Whoa. Boom. Look at that. Wow. Those are nasty. And they don't make that inner collar anymore, so we're gonna try not to mess with that guy cooperating too well. There we we go. 2 crappy dust seals out. So I anticipated using this again. It looks like I can just clean it up. So we're going to clean the inside of this up. Alright folks, so check it out. Here's what's going to happen. This thing was a weird silver or whatever. We're going to polish it. Look at that. I already took it over to the wire wheel, just messing around to see what kind of stuff we can come up with. And look at that. That is going to look awesome. Yeah. So just think the whole shock is going to look like that, the shock body. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to do anything. It's going to look polished and beautiful like that. We are going to put the blue spring back on though, so I'm going to paint that guy. I might have it powder coated, I haven't decided yet. But yeah, we'll figure out what to do with this stuff and we'll come back. I don't think any of this stuff is available anymore. Yeah, and just messing around, I took the other piece over there and look at that. Woo! That is going to look awesome. All right, partner, let's figure out what to do with this. All right, folks, so here's all the stuff that we used, and here is our shock all taken apart and beautiful. Look at that. And once again, I started wire wheeling it. We'll clean it all up. We'll get that shock painted the blue that it's supposed to be. And once again, I got to figure out what kind of shock that is, but there's too many coils on it to be a 200X shock. So if anybody knows, if anybody has any idea what the hell that shock would be, the spring I'm talking about, actually. If anybody has any idea what spring that would be, let me know. Yeah, it looks like it was red at one time. Is it maybe a heavy-duty spring that somebody bought? Maybe a... Alright, so now as you can tell, after we got this all apart, I started cleaning up some of this. And this looks pretty nice. But I think we can go a step further and let's get this guy off. And the way we're going to have to tackle that is we're going to use a 17. This is a 17 and this is a 19. So I had to order myself a flat wrench right here to fit on here. Because my other wrenches, look at that, they don't give you much room to work with down here. So and then I'll take my crow's foot, which is a 17, and we can put that right here. Boom. And now we can use a breaker bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to lean it down. I'm going to set the wrench on the table right here, right? And we're going to use this for leverage. So what I'll do is I'll put the crow's foot right there. And then we'll get us a breaker bar. And we shall crack that sucker. There we go. And there we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is get this everywhere because that's what I thought I was going to do, but that's okay. That's why we got this. And we got us an O-ring down here, which I don't know if I ordered or not. So we better keep that handy, huh? Anyhow, we're going to clean this up, so let's just dump it if we can. I think that's all of it. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hang this up and let it drip out. Well, hell, we can just hang it right here. All right, so now what we can do, it'll make it easier to work with this guy, but all right, so now you'll see there's a snap ring in here, and we're going to take that snap ring out. Let's get rid of the tools first. All right, now we got that apart. Let's get this. You want to push this down, which I already have it down. Push the bladder down so you can expose this little snap ring down here. Circlip, I guess you'd want to call that. So we can take us our pick right here, and we will try to pick that baby right on out of there. You want to be sure not to damage the inside of here. There we go, just like so. And now we might have to do the same thing with this. We had to grind away a lot of the stuff. But first off, I'm going to give it a clean. And then we'll try to pull this out. Alright, so next we're going to take our little tool here that spins onto the end of here. And you want to just spin this baby right on. Try to get as much threads as possible, and then we're going to just pull this sucker right on out of there, hopefully. And maybe we can use this. And it won't go up any farther. What do I do now? I got an idea. There we go. Now we can clean this baby up. Alright, that's how you get that off, I guess. Alright, now we got a few more pieces. We need to clean these babies up. And we have a new one of these. I got a rebuild kit. We're going to be replacing a couple things in here. We're going to be replacing a few of these seals, so let's get that baby apart. Alright folks, so now we got this into the vise right here. Now we're going to try an impact, and we're just going to buzz this guy right off the end, I hope. And it takes a 19mm. Well, there you go. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a zip tie and zip tie this guy. And then we can pop this guy off. And this is where we're going to be replacing the seals. We have a new dust seal here. We have a new O-ring here. And I'm not sure why they didn't give me this one, but they gave me the one inside. They gave me the seal inside, but not this one. So they gave me everything except for this seal, which I don't know why. So we're going to be careful with that one. Huh. That's got a little snap ring in there too. We're not messing with that though. We'll clean this up though. We'll get this cleaned up nice. Good thing it's in good shape though. I don't have another one of these. We'll get it cleaned up. We'll get the washer cleaned up. And that's all there is to that. We're not taking the rest of this apart. Looks like it can come apart. I'm not doing it. That's as far as I'm going with this. Let's get everything cleaned up and get this baby reassembled. Boom! Alright, now we got our pieces all cleaned up. We can do our rebuild. Right here I got our fine Schmidty Racing Suspensions rebuild kit for the 200X OEM, which is what we got right here. So what we're going to do first, let's just see what we got. Woo. All right. So it looks like we got, see, once again, I don't know why they didn't give us this. They only gave me the top piece, the O-ring, and they gave me the one inside. So we're gonna have to be careful with this guy. But the first thing we're gonna do is pop this guy off. All right. And then there should be a washer. And then there's that guy. Okay, there we go. So then there's this guy. With another washer in there that goes this way. And now there's a lot of dirt and stuff in here, so let's just go ahead and get this cleaned up. Before we move on any farther. Alright, well, before we clean it up, let's just get the other pieces off so that we can get it all cleaned. So we're going to take this guy off. Well, this is obviously not the right way to do it, but I don't understand what's happening. Look, it has, I can see it, but how come it won't come off? What the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, well, that thing was on there. I hope I didn't fuck nothing up. That was not ideal. That was not an ideal situation right there. Alright, so let's get these parts cleaned up. We're gonna need to keep this, this, and this. Oh yeah, one more. Let's get this guy off of there. Alright, so let's get our parts cleaned up now and come on back and put this thing together. Now that we got everything cleaned up, you can see it's all nice and beautiful in there. We can assemble it. Actually, one of the washers came out in my, I put these in the ultrasonic cleaner. But anyway, the way these work is, let's get some of our shock oil that we're going to put in there. This is a 7.5 weight Lucas synthetic from Schmidty Racing Suspensions. So let's just pour us a little bit in the cap. I'll be careful with that. Now we don't have a cap on it no more. And we'll put some fluid on everything as we go in. So first is going to be our skinny washer. And then next is going to be this ridged kind of washer dealio. And this is going to be tricky. So the way this thing is going to work is you're going to have to get it to center in there. And then we are going to put our dust seal, our brand new one, in there, and it's going to go with the flat side down. And this little rid, this little cup right here is going to go around that little washer with the raised edge on it. So we're going to have to get that in there, right?
I think we got it. You heard it snap. That meant that it centered itself in there. So yeah, see, we're all good there. And then next is going to be this washer, which has this ridge on it. And the ridge goes down because this is going to be flat against it like this, and then this little ridge is gonna keep that seal in there. So let's grease this up. And then we'll grease this guy up. And it's gonna go the same way that we popped it off. So this little ridge is gonna be up. And there we are. And then we are going to put on, actually let's put this guy on first. And that guy just goes on there. And then last, we're gonna pop this cap on. And I think we're gonna need a socket or something to smash that on because it wasn't So we're gonna need something to pop it on. So we're gonna need a socket or something. All right, so there we go, a 19 works. And now I need to find my hammer. Oh no. All right, and then we're just gonna be very careful. Why is it only going halfway on? There. So now we can get rid of these pieces because we won't need them anymore. Okay, this is our new one. And these are our old ones. Now, let's get our vise back. And we can get this, we got this baby all polished up and shined up. It looks beautiful. All right, folks. Now we're going to put this sucker together. All right. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to put this on a washer. And it looks like you want to take it, you want to put it on the same way you take it off. And I remember it had this little circle right here where you can see where it's worn in right here. That was down. So we're going to put it back the way it was. And then we're going to put our bump stop on. And you're supposed to have a little bullet thingy, they said, because this is sharp. It is, but we are just going to be very careful. Because I don't have one of those things. And I could tape it, and I could do lots of stuff, but I just don't feel like it. And put us a little bit of a fluid on here. A little bit of oil, a little bit of shock oil on there. All right, and then next, we're going to put on the bottom here. And then we're going to put on our seal cap. Okay, now hopefully I did not wreck anything, because I don't have one of those bullets. Oh no. All right, and then next, we're gonna flip our Shim Stack back on there. All right, so now we're gonna take our Shim Stack, and I'm going to put it on a screwdriver here, this way, because we're gonna put it on like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get it lined up here as best we can. And there we are. All right, and then we're going to put our nut on, and this one's got a hole in it, so we're going to be very careful with this, but I'm going to use some red Loctite, some 271 high strength, but I'm only going to put a little bit on the thread itself. And then we're going to torque this to 27 foot-pounds. Alright folks, I'm going to have to set it on the ground and torque it. You're not going to see me doing it, but I'm going to do it. Alright, we're torqued. Alright, now let's put our bladder into the reservoir here, and first we're going to have to assemble it. So you want to put this in to here, there we go, and then we are going to lube up the outside of this guy. And then we'll just pop this sucker right on in there. And we want to shove it down just enough to get us exposed for that circlip. And here we have our circlip. And there you go, we got it in the groove. And then we're going to spin our tool back on here. And we're going to pull it up till it seats onto the clip. And now we're going to use our same tool, and we're going to put us our all right, now we're all set there. And next, let's put us our spinners up on this guy. And you want to have the flat side this direction, because it's going to butt up against the other one. All right, so now what I should have done before I did this, it'll be all right though. We'll just move this shit out of the way. All right, so let's put us on our, whoa. And we got a couple O-rings. So we will take our O-ring and we'll put a little bit of a fluid on it. Oh yeah, that was a bad idea. Put it on here first. All right. And now we can attach our other side with an O-ring. Get us a little bit of a fluid on there. All right, now comes the tricky part. Oh, it's the same. All right, and I guess we just can leave this lay down here, huh? Okay, now I guess we fill it up. We are going to have to put this into the container. Alright, so now we just want to pump this guy up a few times until the air bubbles stop. And then let the air out. And do it again. I think the air bubble stopped. Well, all right. And then we'll take us a zip tie. All right, now that we have this bled, we're gonna go ahead and now that we got this bled and all the air bubbles have ceased to come up through the shock body here, we're gonna go ahead and put pressure in, and we're gonna put some pressure back in here one last time and leave it. We're gonna go anywhere between 60 and 20 pounds. It really doesn't matter. all we want to do here is to make sure that the bladder is overinflated, and we're gonna bleed this. Basically, we're gonna put the seal head into this side, into the body, and we're gonna bleed the shock. And we'll get to what we're gonna do here, but just trust me, we're gonna leave some pressure in here. So since my stupid little pump here, I'm gonna put a bunch in here because I need to undo this and unscrew it, and while I'm doing that, it's gonna allow a bunch to come out. So hopefully there's still some in there. I believe there is. So I started at 40, probably about, I'm guessing there's probably about 20 pounds left in there, which is fine. So now I think I have too much fluid in here, but that's okay. You want to fill it about 3/4 of the way up here, and some of it's going to come out probably, but next we're going to insert the seal head side down in. And we want to make sure that we get that nice and lubed up. And oh yeah, at this stage of the game right now, this is the most important thing you can do, is make sure with this particular shock right here from the 200X, from at least the 86 200X, that you have these nuts, these big old freaking lock nuts on here, because I am actually, this is the second time I'm doing this, to tell you the truth. I actually had it completely done, completely assembled, taken to the shop, hit with nitrogen, and completely finished. And then I tried to put the spring on. Can't do it, because these must go on right now, because they do not fit over this. They do not fit over that. They do not go over the other way. Even with this removed, they don't go back up over the top. And they do not fit over the top of this, and they do not fit over that with this attached. So make sure these little dealios are on right now, because there's no going back. And you cannot do it after this point. So anyway, just let you know there. I lived and learned for you. So here we go. So now we can push this baby right on down into there. And you don't want to seal this right now. We're going to get this up to the top. And now we want to just shove it down in there fast. And then we're going to wiggle it back up a bit. Slowly to get all the air out. There, you don't want that. What you want to do here is you want to, don't let it come out and suck air like I just did. See, I let it come up too high. But you want to just push it down like this until there's no more air bubbles on the compression stroke. And then once you do that, we're getting there. Okay. I see no more bubbles. Let's get it up there. And now we're going to drop this guy in. And it's going to overflow a bit, which is alright because I got a lot of fluid in here. And once this seals, boom, you won't be able to go any farther now. That's as far as you're going to be able to go. And now what we're going to do, now that we have the pressure in there, now We're going to let the pressure out of the bladder and push this down at the same time while the pressure is being released, and that'll keep the air out. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to release the pressure out of the bladder and push this thing down at the same time. That's the goal. And of course, now it didn't quite go all the way down, so I'm going to hope to God that I can get it down to expose the circlip slot, and hopefully I didn't take in any air. And there we go. Ooh, and I still have fluid at the top and everything, so I think we're good to go. Yep, we got that exposed, so now we can put in our clip. Okay, clip went in. I want to make sure that that clip's in the groove. Clip is in the groove. And now we need to put some pressure back in the bladder here. And hopefully this thing should come all the way out. And we need to seat that back up to the clip. There it comes. So we got about 40 pounds in there, and it rose up. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it's now seated up against the circlip. I was just making this even with that, just for the hell of it. But yeah, it's holding pressure. See if we put a little more in there. We got 42 pounds in there. I believe it rose up. I hope it did. Now we're going to let this pressure out because we're going to take it straight down to the shop and get this thing hit with with a nitrogen shot, man. All right, we're not quite done yet. We need to undo this guy and pop this cap on, and then we'll be done. All right, and now we can chop off our zip tie. We're going to put another zip tie on there. So it stays up there. And we're going to smack this dog down now. I knew I was going to do that. I cannot seem to hit this thing right with this stupid ass hammer. It won't work. Alright, so this is not the recommended way to do this, but it's the way I'm going to do it. You want to be very careful when you're doing it this way. Why, dude? Get out of the fucking way. All right, folks. Now we're down completely. And now we can chop this guy down. And now we can get this baby on down to the shop and get this thing hit with the nitrogen. And yeah, we're going to get this thing hit with 300 PSI. 300 PSI. Yes, I said that correctly. This 86-200X rear shock takes 300 PSI of nitrogen. Between 284 and 327 PSI. That's 284 to 327 PSI. And I usually just go a nice round even 300. And it's much easier to say, right? Hey, I need this thing shot, which you need 300. Get her done. All right, let's get this baby to the shop, man. And then we'll get the spring on. All right, folks. Now it's time to put the spring on. Look at that beautiful spring. Woo! Remember that crappy ass black it used to be and all that? Look at that powder coated blue. Awesome. So anyway, if you remember when we took it off, the tighter wound coils go towards the spanner nuts there. So we're going to drop this sucker right on like so. And then the next guy is going to be this guy, and you want to put this flat side down like this, because this guy right here is going to go flat inside like so. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put him on there like so, and then the tricky part. Now I got our spanner wrench. That's our spanner wrench right there where we can grab these guys. And anyway, what I did was I wrapped it in a rag here, and we're going to get it in to here. We're going to compress the spring. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a welding glove so I can hang on to that thing without cracking my hand. And then as you can see, the wear pattern right here on this guy, it's going to rest up against that guy right there, so it's going to slide in just like so. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to use my hand and my foot. I'm going to use my hand over here, my foot over here, and we're going to try to compress this spring and then get this guy in there. Kind of like, let's go. Just like that. Whoo! And then we're going to tap it with our hammer here so that we can get that thing seated proper, because it looks like it's off a little. There we went. There we go. And that's what we want right there. So now, we're going to turn this baby over. Ooh. That's exactly what we want. Get her done! Somebody's rocking out. Yeah. Drive it home, dog. All right. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to make this the proper height right here, right? And that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for our spanner wrench, which we got. So now we're going to tighten these. All right. So now we're just going to have to start cranking this thing down. Maybe I can step on it. Well, it's going to take a long time because I need to get that son of a bitch like all the way down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check in a second. I'm not gonna sit there and like, you understand what's happening here, right, folks? I am cranking this thing down, all right? We're just turning it until we get it to where we want it, and it's gonna have to go like way down here. So I'll check in a second. All right, folks, so what we're doing here, we're making some progress finally. I had to turn it on its side and get a little leverage here. But anyway, what we're doing is we're looking for the spring. Standard length is 190 millimeters, which translates to 7.48 inches. There's a min and a max. So the min is 7.3 and the max is 7.54 inches. And what I'm going to do is just strive for like right under 7.5, because I got a tape measure. I can't measure 7.48. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, so if it's 7.3 and 7.54, I'm gonna aim for just a little bit under 7.5. And right now, we're about 8 1/8. So we got a little ways to go. So anyway, here's what I'm doing. So I got myself some better leverage by doing it this way, so we can just snag around here. I said, why are you being a dick, dude? All right, so we can snag it on there, and then we can just drive it on down. So yeah, I'll check in with you when we get down closer, when we get it down there, and then we'll go from there. All right, folks, we got this thing cranked down now. So when we measure it now, we're at about 7 3/8, which is 7.375, which is between our min max. Our min is 7.3. and our max is 7.54, so we fall in there and we're good. So we can crank this guy down now. I'm gonna wipe these threads off. Yeah, look at that. There was our MPPL spray on there to help get them off. We don't want that on there now. And then I'm gonna hit it with some Loctite. All right, now I'm gonna hit this guy right here with some Loctite, just some blue Loctite. And these are a lot of threads, so let's hit it about halfway around. There we go. Now let's get that in there, get it cranked down, and hopefully we can crank it up to it. There we go. There we got another. All right. And now it looks like this guy kind of moved a little bit, so let's give him a twist back. There we go. All right, one shock. Done. Yes, look at that fine piece of machinery. And you already saw it in the videos, mocked up in there. Woo! All right, dogs. You know what time it is, man. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? Ring that bell. And yeah, go ahead and leave me a comment too, because YouTube is kind of starting to like the comments. So go ahead and throw me a comment down in there, and let me know what you think about what's going on here, and whatever you want, man. Just throw me some kind of comment down there. Let me know what's happening. Anyway, yeah, Next videos though, we're going to be getting down into putting steering stem in and steering stem bearings. We're going to start assembling the roller. Yes, we're going to start getting that dog together. About time. All right, so you know what time it is. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Woo!